Welcome back. Last week I heard a story that changed my life of a woman with no legs, one chicken, and a heart that was bigger than her, and she changed the life of a whole city. You can watch the whole video in the description below. Now, listen to the story.
Actually, it kind of reminded me of the book of Acts, was what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
both the sort of miraculous fruits of it, and then also the kind of communal, everyone's pooling in what they have. Everyone has a slightly different set of gifts, and everyone's coming together. And yeah, there was this one story he shared in particular that I still cannot stop thinking about, which was about this woman named Veronica.
Yeah, it was during those teachings that we had in churches where we found this lady.
This woman came into their church. She had no land or house, and she didn't even have two legs to walk on. So unlike the other men and women who had come forward, she wasn't able to build houses or to farm fields. All she had was this one chicken.
She put up her hand and said, I have a chicken I would like to give. When I looked at her condition, she was crawling on the ground. She had no limbs to walk with. I really sympathized with her and I said, no, this is robbery if we get this chicken from her.
But she talked back.
She said, but you have taught us that everyone has something to give. And for me, that is what I have to give. Why are you stopping me from doing it?
And then she quoted the Bible at him, which I think is amazing.
You have already taught me that in the Bible there was a widow who gave her only penny, and now for me I have a chicken. Why can't you allow me to give it?
So, yeah, I mean, he gave in and accepted her chicken.
And in those days, when someone brought something in the church, we would auction it. So we made a fundraising and we sold that chicken. And we said the money from this chicken, we are going to buy bricks so that the first brick on this church should be accorded to that lady. So that's how we built that church.
And so that first brick that was laid down on the new church was bought with that chicken that the woman donated. It actually became the foundation stone of their church.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I can't get that image out of my head of crawling with the chicken and off. Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's also very empowering, actually. That's quite striking that, when you first saw her and you thought, oh, we can't possibly take that chicken from her because she has so little. But then, that's not how she saw things. She saw, oh, but I do have something that I can give. And what a witness that is to everyone else that we all have something to give.
And that act of her surely touched very many people because most of the people who were giving at that time, they were referring to that very act. That's why they are giving, because Veronica had given her chicken. And the youths in our church started volunteering, getting her from her house and bringing her to church every Sunday.
Oh, wow.
She became a friend of everyone. And the youths started noticing what she needed. She had no house at that time. And these youths in our church organized themselves. They went and built a house for her. And the youths also collected money and they bought a wheelchair for her. So you would find her very happy when she's coming to church, when she's being pushed by the youths bringing her to church. They were even fighting for helping her to take her home. It changed the whole life in our church.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, up to now, people have failed to forget her.
What amazing fruit. I mean, there was a church that was built, and then the youths that were inspired to build a house for her and buy a wheelchair for her, and then all the people that were then inspired to give generously and radically from her example. I know this was not at all what she was thinking. She was thinking like Sky Treasure, or maybe this is Sky Treasure. I don't know. But like that's actually an incredible return on one chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You can't imagine her envisioning that. You imagine her just being moved by the Spirit to say, I want in on this. I can be part of this too. Don't count me out. And she didn't realize how in she was getting herself.
Yeah, it felt like a floodgate story in terms of, try me and the floodgates will open.
Yeah. It does strike me, the parable of the shrewd manager, how it's about relationships ultimately. And I get inspired by that. And I think, yes, I need to develop relationships. That's what matters. But then my intuition is to go, what relationships can I build that will help me the most?
Yeah.
Who are the important people that I need to win over? And really believing that, like, at the center of the kingdom of God is a woman with no legs and a chicken. And that's the person
Mm.
who is at the center, binding relationships together. Like, that's not the person that comes to my mind when I think, how do I be shrewd? And how do I build into God's kingdom?
Yeah. No, totally. That is the person that God chooses to be the cornerstone of his church.
Yeah.
Seeing that woman giving the only thing that she had was a challenge as the pastors. I said, now if this lady can give this much, what about us? We have our whole life to give. We have our talents to give, and we have our knowledge to give. So we started teaching other people, and this spirit caught on, and that's what transformed our town.